Good morning, Year 10. I hope you're well and having a lovely day. Could you write the date and title, please? And for your do now, answer this question. Who do you think is the most responsible and why? Your title today is KM6. Okay, so next I would like you to reread pages 61 to 72 in your play. And if you could also make some annotations focusing on the breakdown in family relationships, generational divides, and responsibility. Pause the video to do this now. Okay, so we're going to work through KM6. First, I'd like you to read through it yourself. The extract is attached on class charts, and you can read it in the extract or in your play, once you've found where it is. What I'd like you to do is make notes on the presentation of the characters, focus on language and structure, but most importantly on the potential effect on the audience, contemporary and modern. Also, ask yourself what themes are apparent here. What questions could you answer using this moment? Pause the video to do this now. Okay, so next we're going to go through this moment together, starting with Eric bursting out. So bursting out is interesting. It shows he's releasing his mounting fury against his parents. What's the use of talking about behaving sensibly? You're beginning to pretend now that nothing's really happened at all. And I can't see it like that. The girl's dead. This girl's still dead, isn't she? Nobody's brought her to life, have they? So here he's clearly angry at his parents' dismissive attitudes and refusal to take responsibility. And this is demonstrated through two rhetorical questions. Sheila eagerly, so she's pleased that Eric agrees with her, emphasizing this divide between young and old. That's just what I feel, Eric. The word just again shows that they're very much on the same team now. And it's what they don't seem to understand. Eric, whoever that chap was, the fact remains, I did what I did, and Mother did what she did, and the rest of you did what you did to her. It's still the same rotten story, whether it's been told to a police inspector or someone else. So he understands what's really important, unlike his parents. He also had the repetition of did, emphasizing the shared responsibility. Eva Smith was a victim of their collective actions, all the things that they did to her. And then you've got, according to you, I ought to feel a lot better, to Gerald. I stole some money, Gerald. You might as well know. So he's a reformed character, as he no longer keeps secrets. As Berling tries to interrupt, now tries is important. The verb indicates that before he had all the power, but now Eric and other characters have power. I don't care, let him know. The money's not the important thing. So that shows a key distinction between him and his father. His father cares so much about money, it's the most important thing to him, but that's not the case for Eric. It's what happened to the girl and what we all did to her that matters. And I still feel the same about it. And that's why I don't feel like sitting down and having a nice cozy talk. And Eric's absolutely right. The intensifier absolutely consolidates her position and shows how much she supports Eric. And it's the best thing any one of us has said tonight, and it makes me feel a bit less ashamed of us. You're just beginning to pretend all over again. Look, for God's sake! So God's sake's blasphemy. He's losing his temper. Mrs. Berling protesting, Arthur, so she's always reminding him of his manners. Well, my dear, they're just so damned exasperating. They just won't try to understand our position, or to see the difference between a lot of stuff like this coming out in private and a downright public scandal. So he's very selfish, because he only cares about himself and his reputation. Eric shouting, showing passion. And I say the girl's dead, and we all helped to kill her. And that's what matters. Berling also shouting, threatening Eric. And I say either stop shouting or get out, glaring at him, but in a quiet tone. Some fathers I know would have kicked you out of the house anyhow by this time, so hold your tongue if you want to stay here. So you've got archaic ideas about family dynamics, and the youth respecting their elders. Eric, quietly, bitterly, I don't give a damn now whether I stay here or not. So he wants to distance himself from his family. You'll stay here long enough to give me an account of the money you stole. Yes, and to pay it back too. So Mr. Berling always cares about money first. People are less important. Sheila, but that won't bring Eva Smith back to life, will it? And it doesn't alter the fact that we all helped to kill her. This is repetition that Sheila and Eric both understand what's important. But is it a fact? Gerald's still trying to escape responsibility. Of course it is. You don't know the whole story yet. I suppose you're going to prove now that you didn't spend last summer keeping this girl instead of seeing me, eh? I did keep a girl last summer. I've admitted it, and I'm sorry, Sheila. So we have some remorse and responsibility there. And I must admit, you came out of it better than the rest of us. The inspector said that. Burling angrily, he wasn't an inspector. So he gets caught up with what's not important. Sheila flaring up, well, he inspected us all right. And don't let's start dodging and pretending now. Between us, we drove that girl to commit suicide. Did we? Who says so? So we have juxtaposition of attitudes, highlighted by rhetorical questions. Because I say so. Because I say there's no more real evidence we did than there was that chap was a police inspector. Of course there isn't. Of course there is. No, there isn't. Look at it. A man comes here pretending to be a police officer. It's a hoax of some kind. Now, what does he do? Very artfully, working on bits of information he's picked up here and there, he bluffs us into confessing that we've all been mixed up in this girl's life in one way or another. So, the words are connected by the semantic field of deception, pretending, hoax, and bluffs. This shows Gerald trying to escape responsibility, pretend that he's not responsible. And so we have, juxtaposing with Eric, who has a clear acceptance of responsibility. But how do you know it's the same girl? Burling eagerly, again, like Gerald wanting to find a way to avoid responsibility. Now wait a minute. Let's see how that would work. Now, hesitates. No, it wouldn't. You all admitted it. All right, you all admitted something to do with the girl. But how do you know it's the same girl? He looks round triumphantly at them. As they puzzle this out, he turns to Burling after a pause, and I'd highlight the word triumphantly. He's determined to avoid responsibility. So make sure you have those notes written down, please. If you need to listen to that again, please go back and do so. So finally, I would like you to consider the following. Was there just one girl, or were there multiple girls? What do you think of each character's response? And could you use your notes from today's lesson to respond to these questions, using quiz to support if you can? Pause the video, please, to do that now. And that is the end of today's lesson. Thank you very much for your hard work. That is now the end of the key moments, so we're going to be focusing on exam practice going forward, trying to practice answering exam-style questions. So thank you very much. It's a good place to end, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.